Now we need to read the data in the candidates table and find the record with the string value assigned to the choice variable in the candidate column. We need to find the record in the candidates table related to this choice and update the number of votes in that record. First of all, after reading the records in the candidates table, in the candidate column, let's find the record that has the string value assigned to the choice variable. For that, I click Data and drag a read record code block into the onEvent code block we created. Let's type the name of the table here as candidates. Now, after reading the data in the table, it needs to be founded the record with the string values assigned in the choice variable in the candidate column. The votes column need to be updated in that record. Here in the code block in front of the table name, it needs to be given as candidate:choice in curly brackets. But since there is no corresponding code block, we have to type this part. I click on this show text button. The code we need is in the 34th line. Let's type as candidate:choice in these brackets. Now again, click on the show block. Our code does not need the for loop and the console log code block in this read record code block. So let's remove that part. I click this code block and drag it to the place where it says clear below. Before updating the record in the table, we need to create a variable called temp to assign the ID of the record related to the selected candidate as well as the values required for the candidates and the votes column. Let's click variables and drag a var x equal code block into this read records code block. Here, temp is given. Curly brackets should be provided to the right side of the equal sign. I click on show text and in the 35th line, I give a pair of curly brackets to the right side of the equal sign. Now, let's click on show blocks. Next, the ID of these records should be assigned in the temp.id variable. Here, let's drag an x equal code block under variables. Since there are no code blocks to create the code as we need to type and prepare this part as well. So let's click on show text again. Here, instead of x, I give temp.id. Let's give as record box bracket 0.id to the right side of the equal sign. Now let's click on show blocks again. Yes, the code blocks have been created as we need. Now let's create a variable as temp.candidate to assign the candidate's name again. For that, let's drag an x equal code block under variables again. Since we need to type and prepare this part as well, we click on show text again. Here, instead of x, let's give as temp.candidates and give records box bracket 0.candidate to the right side of the equal sign. Now let's click on show block again. Okay, now let's add one vote to the number of votes in this record and update this record. Variables is clicked again and an x equal code block is dragged like this. A code block with the plus sign under math is dragged to the right side of the equal sign. Now again, let's click on show text and give as record box bracket 0.votes instead of x to the right side of the equal sign. Let's call it votes. Let's give it as records box bracket dot votes here and type 1 here. Now again, click on show blocks. Now, along with the number of newly added votes, the total number of votes is stored in record 0.votes. Next, let's assign this number of votes in the temp.votes variable. I drag an x equal code block here under variables again. Let's click on show text and type the code. The part we want to create is on the 39th line. To the left side of the equal sign in this row, it is given as temp.votes and to the right side, it is given as records box bracket 0.votes. Okay, now the table needs to be updated with the new values assigned to the temp variable added to this record. For that, let's drag an update record code block in the UI control section like this. Here, the name of the table is given in inverted commas as candidates. The ID name Bob code block in front is removed and given as tempt. Now, if this record is updated successfully, the result screen should be displayed here. I drag an if code block in the control section and give success for the condition. The result screen should be displayed after some time has passed after the table has been updated. Therefore, I drag an timeout code block under controls here. Okay, now let's drag a set screen code block under UI controls into this code block. We can select the screen we want by clicking on this arrow. I selected results from here.